How's it going, everybody? This is going to be an ultimate guide on how you guys can complete the new main Easter egg that just came out in Season 1 of Modern Warfare Zombies. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first prerequisite of having to do this main Easter egg is going to be having the Act 4 mission done. Here's a quick rundown on how you guys can complete this super simple and super easily. Alright, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so we want to be prepared since at the end of the mission, we're going to be taking on a huge boss fight, which is going to be a little struggle, but the hardest challenges are yet to come. So for the warm boss fight, I don't really recommend bringing too much things since it's not that hard, but I do recommend you guys bringing in basic things, basic necessities such as a wrench to upgrade your weapon, a pack punch crystal, and I would also recommend bringing any perk of your choice, any perks that are going to help you, such as stamina, jug, speed cola. I wouldn't recommend the ray gun. I wouldn't recommend any wonder weapons for the fight. I would recommend any guns that have a lot of ammunition in them. Me personally, I use the wasp forms, but I would recommend you guys use an assault rifle or an LMG since those are the most effective on the warm bosses. But now once we're fully geared up and ready, we're ready to go ahead into the game and complete our Act 4 mission. So the contract does not actually take place in the Urzikstan map. For us to complete the contract, we're going to have to travel into the Dark Aether. Now to do this for the first time for the Act 4 mission, there is going to be an extraction point that does spawn in for you guys. It's going to look like the same extraction point from the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 story missions, and it's going to be called Bad Signal. When you reach the extraction point, you're going to notice that it's not going to be like a regular extraction where you call an exfil chopper and you get taken off in a helicopter. What you're going to do is you're going to find this portal here that looks like an A shape, and that is going to be the portal that takes you into the Dark Aether. Simply just interact with it X if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, Square if you're on PlayStation, and whatever interact key is on PC. Once you've interacted with it, a prompt will tell you to open up your attack map and select yes or no. Every member of your squad has to select yes, or you will not be taken into the Dark Aether. But once every member of your squad has selected yes, you will be taken into the Dark Aether. It's going to be like if you're taken to a story mission, the game is going to load up and you're going to load up in the new map. So once you're into the new map, you are going to see that we have an objective to complete. That objective is going to be find 4 seals, and we're going to go ahead and activate them and fill them up with zombie souls. There's going to be 4 of them on the map. There's going to be one in the north side, there's going to be one on the east side, and there's going to be one on the west side, and one in the middle. All you simply want to do is go ahead and interact with each and every one of these, and a horde of zombies will spawn in. Just go ahead and kill the horde of zombies in close proximity of the seal, and they're going to fill up like zombie souls. You'll know you're done because it's going to glow. A little sigil is going to spawn on top of it, and you can go ahead and complete the next one. Once you've completed all 4 of the sigils, you're going to notice that you get given another task. The next task involves you leaving the Dark Aether. So whenever you go ahead and go to the marked location on the map, which is the exit of the Dark Aether, a worm boss is going to spawn in. Now, this is the boss that we have been preparing for. It's going to be a big-ass worm that just spawns in. And depending if you have teammates or not, this could be easier, this could be harder. Just know if you're in a party of 4 players or more, the boss has health does scale. So if you do have 4 players in your squad, 5 players in your squad, 6 players in your squad, the boss will actually go ahead and have 5 times more health or 6 times more health, depending on how many players are in your squad. So the worm does have a few attacks. The worm can go underground and come up, launch you into the air. He can swallow you, he could shoot lasers at you, and he can throw these glowing orbs at you that you want to go ahead and shoot. If you guys don't go ahead and shoot these purple orbs, they will do massive damage to you, and they will probably be one of the biggest reasons on why you down. So for us to defeat this worm, you want to go ahead and shoot the purple spots on the side of its body. The easiest way to do this is just to run around, make sure you don't get hit by those orbs, make sure that you don't get hit by lasers, and just shoot the right side of his body or the left side. Anywhere on those weakness spots, they will be glowing purple. Just go ahead, shoot them, and you will do tons of damage and easily kill them. Alright, so once you've taken out the boss, there will be an aether rift that spawns in. This aether rift will contain one of the 4 sigils that we need to go ahead and collect now so we can go ahead and enter that tier 4 area. So this next part of the Easter egg is going to involve us collecting 4 sigils that will unlock the new Dark Aether area. So we already have one of the 4 sigils by completing the Act 4 mission. Now we're going to show you how we can get the second one, which is the camera. Alright, so to get the security camera sigil, all we have to do is go ahead and get dead wire on our gun. Once we have dead wire on our gun, we want to run around the map and find any of these soul harvesters that are just roaming around. Once you have found a soul harvester, you want to go ahead and shoot it with a gun that you have dead wire on. Shooting it with this gun is going to cause the harvester orb to go yellow, and once it goes yellow, you just want to go ahead and completely destroy it by continuously shooting at it. Once you destroy it, you're going to notice that it drops a new drop. It's going to drop a security camera. With the security camera, now we want to go ahead and find any of these ether rifts around the map. These will be purple like lightning around the map that allows you to fly up in the air. So depending on what sigil that you collect first or which one you have in your inventory when you're doing this, there's going to be a different color for the ether rift that spawns in the air. So with the dead wire one, the one that's going to spawn in front of you is going to be a yellow rift portal. So once you take a rift and you're in the air, straight in front of you, there will be a yellow rift portal. Simply you want to go fly straight into it. A purple orb is going to emit from that yellow portal, and it's going to shoot straight down into the ground somewhere. Simply just track it, or it's going to be tracked on the map as a new contract. You know it's the right thing because it's going to show up as a purple contract instead of a regular contract on your minimap. Go ahead and collect the contract, and it's going to give us an eliminate the bounty contract. So your contract should be something along the lines of locate a disciple and eliminate it. Simply just go to the marked location on the minimap, find a disciple, and you want to go ahead and kill it. Completing this bounty contract is going to turn the item in your inventory, in this case a security camera, which was a purple sigil, it's going to turn it legendary, and it's going to turn it gold. Once your sigil has turned gold, that means we have now completed 2 of the 4 sigils. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is going to be the pill bottle. Alright, so for the pill bottle, we are going to need to get brain rot on our weapon. Once we got brain rot on our weapon, we want to go ahead and find a ether nest or an infested stronghold. Simply what you want to do is go ahead and shoot these little cysts with the brain rot weapon, and it's going to turn green. Once it turns green, you don't want to pop it. You want to go ahead and interact with it. After interacting with the spore, a pill bottle is going to come out of the spore. Simply all you want to do is go ahead and collect it, and we are ready to move on to the next step. Alright, so the next step is basically going to be a rinse and repeat of what we just did for the security camera. We want to go around the map looking for an ether rift that we want to go ahead and take. And once we take the ether rift in front of us, straight in front of us will be a new ether rift that will be a different color that we want to go ahead and take. The color of this ether rift will be green. So once we take this ether rift, a purple orb will shoot from it, and it will shoot it straight into the ground. A purple contract will be marked on the map. You just want to go ahead and collect that contract. We're going to get an eliminate the bounty contract again, and this time we're going to be tasked to go ahead and eliminate a mimic. Alright, so all you want to do next is just find the mimic, go ahead and kill him, and once you kill him, the ether portal containing the legendary pill bottle is going to spawn in. Just go ahead and grab it, and that's 3 of the 4 sigils that we have complete. Moving on to the last sigil, this last sigil is actually going to require us to use a thermite or a Molotov. So the first thing that we want to do for this sigil is go ahead and find a chunk of flesh. Once we have found the chunk of flesh, we want to go ahead and find any near doghouse, and with the chunk of flesh, insert it inside and insert it with either a thermite or a Molotov. Doing this will cause a hellhound to spawn in. All you want to do is go ahead and kill it, and when you kill it, you will see that he will drop a dog collar. Once we have this dog collar, we just want to rinse and repeat the same steps that we've been doing over and over again. We want to go ahead and find another ether rift and go straight through it, and once you're through it, another ether rift will spawn in the air, and it will be the color red. Once you do it, a purple orb again will come out, shoot straight to the ground, another contract will spawn in, and go ahead, collect that contract, and this time we're going to have a eliminate the bounty contract in the tier 3 area. Once you find the bounty target, all you want to do is go ahead and eliminate it, and once you do, another ether portal will spawn in containing the legendary dog collar. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. So this next step involves us going to this marked location on the map and putting in all 4 of the sigils that we just collected into these 4 pedestals. Now the pedestals all have symbols on them representing which sigil goes in where. These symbols are represented by the ammo mod symbols. So what we want to do is go ahead and put the journal in the cryo freeze pedestal, put the pills in the brain rot pedestals, put the security camera in the dead wire pedestal, and put the dog collar in the napalm burst pedestal. Note that before you put all 4 sigils into the pedestals, get ready, get geared up, because once you put them in, a mega abomination boss is going to spawn in, and we're tasked to go ahead and kill it. Once you go ahead and you complete the mega abomination, the portal for the dark ether will spawn in. When you kill the mega abomination, a rift portal will spawn in containing your first sigil. The sigil is going to be the key basically to head into the dark ether. Without the sigils, you can't go into the dark ether at all, so you want to make sure you go ahead and collect this sigil. If you're not already geared, so get ready to get geared up, because we are ready to go into the tier 4 version of the dark ether. This is going to be a new different category of zombies. These are way harder than tier 3. they're not even classified as a tier. They're literally dark ether zombies. So to get into the dark ether, once you are ready, you want to go ahead and on the front side of the portal, there is going to be an interact key. Simply just interact with this key, insert the sigil, and the portal will activate. You will get a prompt that requires all teammates in your squad to say yes before you are taken into the dark ether. Once everybody says yes by bringing up their attack map and pressing the key that says yes, you will be finally taken into the dark ether. Once you're into the dark ether, you want to go ahead and look at the Mr. Peaks bunnies that are in the air and look at where they fly off to. We're going to have to go ahead and run around and collect these Mr. Peaks bunnies. Here's some locations of the known bunny spots. I think they're presets. I'm not 100% sure, but these are the only locations that I found them in, and I've seen other people find them in, so I think they're preset. Don't take my word for it. Just that's why I'm saying just go ahead and look first to make sure that they go into that location. Or if not, just like these spots that I gave you, maybe they're there 100% of the time. From experience in my games, I've been in the exact same spot every single time. So you know you're close from one of these Mr. Peaks bunnies because you're going to hear like a sinister laugh. Once you find the bunny, you want to go ahead, pick it up, and it's going to start a contract. You could either have one of three contracts. It can either be a ether extractor contract, an escort the tank contract, or it could be an outlast contract. Here, one of the bunny locations is on the side of the bus. Go ahead and pick that up. That will start one contract. Another bunny location is on top of this castle. And I don't have gameplay footage of this other bunny location because one of my teammates did pick it up in game for me. So I'm sorry about that. But it should be on top of a restaurant. Here is the marked location for it on the map. It is super important that once you complete the contracts, you collect what is in the ether rift because the golden armor plates could be in there, the ether blade could be in there, or the dog bone could be in there, or most importantly the elder sigils could be in there, which I'm going to go ahead and talk about in a little bit. Hopefully you do find an elder sigil though while you're completing these bounty quests, because that is what's going to help us get into the tier 5 of the dark ether, which is going to get us the new schematics. Now to leave the dark ether, there's no set location. You just want to have to go ahead and run around and find the ether exit. It's not going to be marked on the map, but it's going to be a portal similar to the portal that we used to get inside the dark ether. It's just going to be a very small and miniature version of it. For me in my game, both times I found them on top of the castle, so there's a spawn location there, and I know there's a spawn location under the castle underground, so go ahead and check there. But once you exit, we want to go ahead and get ready, get equipped, because we're going to do the same thing again. But if you did get an elder sigil, we're going to go into the tier 5 version of the dark ether. Now what we want to do is go ahead and go to the same portal that we found the first time to go into the dark ether, and instead of on the front side putting in the sigil, we want to go ahead and go to the back side and put in the elder sigil, which instead of turning the portal yellow, it's going to turn the portal red. That is how you know that you did it correctly. Now you want to be extremely geared up with this. You and your team want to have the best loot possible, because not only are we going into a tier 5 version of the dark ether where enemies are stronger than that tier 4 version, there's going to be a bunch of mega abominations around. So you want to come prepared with some juggernauts so you can go ahead and take those mega abominations out easily. But you are also on a 15-minute timer, so we are super restricted, so we cannot go in there and waste any time. But once we're in there, we're going to repeat the same process that we did in the tier 4 dark ether by going around and finding the 3 Mr. Peaks bunnies. They're going to do the same thing, just give you contracts. You want to go ahead and complete these contracts. The difference between the contracts now in the tier 5 version and the tier 4 is that now guaranteed you're going to get the new schematic, the ether blade, the dog bone, or the golden armor plate. So if you do fill a contract, you're going to have to come back in another game to get that schematic again, because once you fill a contract once, you can't redo it over again. But once you've done all 3 contracts, simply you just want to find an escort portal, just run around like how you did the first time. Find a portal and extract, and you will have the schematics. That's basically how you complete the first Easter egg in MWZ. If you guys did enjoy this video and want to see more content like this, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.